Hello everyone, John12 back again with another video, and yes, it is time for another review, and today is Tuesday night, so obviously that means another episode of From Dusk Till Dawn, the series. Today I'll be reviewing episode Boxman. Basically, there's a lot to talk about, seeing as how this is the last episode till the season finale, so obviously I'll be getting into a lot of it. But overall, before I gotta get started, I have to say one thing. Just like the previous episode, I like the commercials a lot more. I say that mostly because throughout the commercials, if you have access to the El Rey network, then you would know that in between commercials, other than the Grindhouse commercials and the Shaolin commercials that the El Rey network features, there's logo features, and there was a specific really badass cool sequence of heavy metal. Of the heavy metal opening, a new CGI version of the heavy metal opening, and obviously the bottom of the Corvette is the El Rey Network logo. But I thought that was just pretty badass of a commercial, and because for those of you who do not know, El Rey Network is of course owned by Robert Rodriguez, and of course Robert Rodriguez also owns the rights to heavy metal, the franchise. So obviously he's been in development of creating a new heavy metal project, new anthology film, which I personally cannot wait for. And based off the commercial, if the anthology film is anywhere near this cool CGI version of just the really cool rotoscope animation of heavy metal, the movie, I'm all for it, and I just wanted to point that out because even though this has nothing to do with From Dusk Till Dawn, it was pretty badass, and I wasn't expecting that, and I'm a huge heavy metal fan, so for anybody who's doubting Rodriguez on this, that commercial was enough. If we get more stuff like that, then I'm cool with it. But let's get right into this review of this episode. First off, the opening shot sequences, of course, we get back into the past where we have the Gecko brothers who are younger, they're little kids, and obviously we see the death of the Gecko brothers' father, who I personally like the fact that they got James Remar to play the Gecko brothers' father. I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know, I personally liked it. I like his performance. But I think it was pretty graphic and cool. I just wish they could have stuck with it a little longer. It just would have felt better if you had more of a sequence with that opening. But overall, this was kind of short, really not there kind of opening, in my opinion. Because seeing as how this series has been just a twist after another twist, obviously they started to bring more elements into the ending sequences with this series, because obviously at the end of the movie everyone dies with the exception of Seth and Kate. So obviously they have to do a lot of things differently, so they introduced the last episode, they introduced this curse that Santanico is under, and you have to go through hell or whatever, and Richie must become a vampire to release her spirit because she's a slave to this religion or whatnot. I don't know. It still doesn't make sense to me. I thank you YouTubers for explaining to me the gist of all this, but it just still doesn't make sense. I don't know if that's because I'm a dum-dum or they're retarded. I don't know. It still does not make sense. Overall, the episode, I think, did a lot better than the previous episode. I like it a lot more than the previous episode. Last episode sucked in my opinion, but this episode was a big improvement. But I still feel it has its flaws, because first off, I still don't like Santanico. The actress who plays her, god damn, I'm telling you, by the next episode, if she's not dead, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed. I'm just sick of her at this point. As for Richie becoming a vampire, I'm really with odds with it. This whole season was pretty epic and really overtopped my expectations, and the Gecko brothers are of course a core when it comes to that, but I don't know, man. The Richie becoming a vampire, I don't know what the fuck to say. I can't really say much. To me, it's weird, stupid, useless. Don't know why you have to point that out, but I don't know. They could have just killed him. They could have. I don't know why they didn't, but I'm just saying they could have. overall, that whole sequence was just weird. I love Seth. Seth was like the best part of this episode because, as you all know, my favorite character is Gonzalez. But seeing as how Gonzalez was hardly in this episode, Seth was like the main protagonist through this episode. So I liked him more than anybody else. And I just love his sarcastic comments. And I love the moment where, like, Santanico is talking and blah, blah, blah. Who gives a shit? But she's talking about how you have to, like, enter this labyrinth. And it's like a competition. And, of course, once you win or get through it all, you prove a point or something, and you get to have her and free her or whatever. I kind of like Seth's his response to that, because that's like the kind of response I would have if I was like asked to do this kind of act. It's like, I have to go through all this shit, this crazy bullshit, hellish insanity through my body that's just gonna kill me emotionally, physically, and spiritually, just to get your crazy ass. That's like trying to, like, the grand prize to, like, the Olympics is, like, some crazy bitch, whore, slut that you don't really give a fuck about instead of a gold medal. It's like, what a pointless act and pointless win. It's just, I'm with Seth with this one. It's like, I wouldn't do it, but, you know, he has to do it unless he's just gonna be stuck in the labyrinth forever, so I kind of get, like, why he's doing it, but at the same time, I would just be like, you know what, fuck it. Being in jail, or having the free, or have her, I don't know, like, that's how much I don't like her. I'm just putting it out there. That's how much I don't like her. I would be in jail not to have her. I don't know if that makes me insane or retarded, but I'm just putting it out there. You comment amongst yourselves about that. I don't know, maybe that says something about me, but I just do not like her. Going past that, Gonzalez joins up with the team, and obviously goes on with their adventures, because they're trying to fucking find Scott and save Scott, even though he's become a vampire already. And of course they get stuck in this labyrinth temple thing, and that's all interesting, but I don't know, like, another thing I don't like is Sex Machine in this episode. I was kind of pro Sex Machine in previous episodes, but now it's like, you know what? I'm okay with him dying. His obsession with this Mexican vampire religion is too much for me. I'm okay with him dying by, like, next episode. I'm alright. You know, like I'm all pros Tom Savini. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm pros Tom Savini. So let's go on that train. So him dying next episode, I'm cool with. Kate, I'm kind of sick of her being kind of helpless. I'm kind of sick of that. Like, she needs to be more pro. You know, she needs to take shit on. I'm sick of this whole, like, she's helpless kind of shit, in my opinion. The main aspect that I really liked about this episode is that once the Gecko brothers start on this road to this competition or what have you, to retrieve, I don't even know what. Someone explain to me once again in the comment section. But I kind of like how the twist in this episode is that you go from, like, the vampires to, like, Inception. What they did is just they put a heist on top of this Mexican religion, vampire religion. So I like that twist. It's kind of cool and interesting, and I like the fact that we're kind of out of Mexico in this temple, because at a certain point you kind of get sick of Mexico and you gotta leave. It happens. And I like that they did it, because, you know, like, I would kind of feel bad, like, just personally, in my opinion, that we would be stuck in this temple for, like, the next several episodes. So I'm kind of good with the fact that they moved sets, you know, because I've already said my complaints in previous reviews, so I'm not going to get into it now. But overall, this episode was pretty interesting. I do like the Gecko brothers and the realization that Seth finds out that, you know, Richie's the one who killed his dad, so he's kind of blaming him. And, you know, Sex Machine's about to sacrifice Kate to the gods, the Mexican, Mayan, vampire gods, what have you. Santanico's, who gives a shit. That's my new t-shirt. Santanico, who gives a shit train. That's my t-shirt. And, of course, Carlos has obviously, like, altered his motives with Santanico. Obviously, he's against her now. Like, before he was, like, all pro her. Now he's all pro getting me the fuck out of here and her getting fucked over. Kind of bust. So, I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I don't really care. Like, if Gonzalez does not kill Carlos, then I don't give a shit if what he does. So that's just my personal opinion. But overall, like, my predictions for the next episode, because as you all know, the next episode is the season finale of From Dusk Till Dawn, the series. So my predictions are, I pretty much say, I gave my predictions previously, but I kind of go on the fact that maybe the Gecko brothers will stick it in. You know, maybe they'll be able to win, but maybe they'll get fucked over, and that'll lead up to season 2, like them trying to redeem themselves or something. Or maybe they'll just like try to like cross over or double cross Carlos and Santanico or some shit, and maybe Carlos will double cross her or something. I don't know. There's a lot of double crossing all over the place. There's a lot of backstabbing and whatnot. So obviously shit's gonna go down. A lot of, I don't know if everyone's gonna die. I hope that someone dies, but someone I don't like, and I'm pretty sure you guys can guess. But overall, this episode was definitely an improvement from the previous episode that I obviously did not like. But it did still have its flaws, which is why I give it a good 7.5, 8.0 rating. Because even though this episode was good, it still has its flaws. It could have done a little bit more Gonzalez, and I don't understand why Sex Machine is so obsessed with this religion. And I really was hoping that Santanico would get a shotgun to the head to this episode, but maybe in the finale. But overall, what did you guys think? Did you enjoy this episode? Did you hate this episode? Were you just waiting for a moment where Seth finally punches Richie in the face like I was, which we didn't get technically? But in the end, that's going to be it, and I'll be seeing you guys next Tuesday, because next Tuesday is the season finale, which I will be reviewing. But overall, this episode was okay. It was a good watch. It just wasn't the best episode. I know I'm kind of going down on this series, but you kind of have to admit it, you know, because these last couple episodes just haven't been holding up. I don't know. Maybe it needs more Don Johnson. I don't know. That's more Don Johnson for the win. I'm Don Johnson for the win. We need to get more Don Johnson on this series. If he's not in season 2, I'll be disappointed as shit. But that's gonna be it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope I didn't come down as such a downer or offended anybody, but, you know, these are my personal thoughts, and you can leave yours in the comment section. So that's going to be it.